All right, guys, welcome to another exciting episode of the Left Side View. This is the review episode of the midweek matches. We will talk about and we will review all those matches that took place this week. So we'll cover the Champions League, the Conference League, and also the Europa League, along with some league action. So where do we begin, Amitabh?
Yeah, so let's take it, day wise. Let's start from Monday. On Monday, we had Crystal Palace against Leeds United in the Premier League. So the match ended in a nil-nil draw. Again, I think both the teams are pretty safe. It's either most likely it's either Burnley or Everton that's going down. So again, a good performance from Leeds. Being the away side, you can just say that they would much rather have this 1 point than Crystal Palace. Any views on the game, Ram?
Actually, yes. So this is actually not the first time these two coaches have met in the dugout. So I think Jesse Marsh was the manager of New York Red Bulls, and Patrick Vieira was actually the manager of New York City FC. So yes, they had this derby going on in the US. So back then, actually, it was Marsh who had a better record against uh, Patrick Vieira's side. But yeah, in this match, it actually ended in a nil-nil draw. So yeah, I think not really much to say. I think both the teams in a way, Crystal Palace are obviously safe, whereas someone like Leeds, they would also consider themselves to be safe, and I think a better point for Leeds, considering their away form under Bielsa. So yes, I think like you said, it's still between Everton and Burnley. So yeah, uh, they would still expect safety this season.
Yeah, over in the Serie A, we had Sassuolo against Juventus, and Juventus left it really late to clinch this one. It was Moise Kean's effort in the 88th minute that won the match for Juventus 2-1. Sassuolo actually, started scoring, took the lead through Raspadori in the 38th minute. Dybala equalized in the 45th minute. So again, a crucial win for Juventus, and yeah, again, this time of the season, 3 points is all that matters. Mhm.
Well, yes. So the interesting thing to note here is that Vlahovic actually did not really start the match. He was on the bench. He came on as a 55th minute substitute. But yes, like we predicted, we would see a much better performance from Sassuolo, this being a big match and they being the giant killers. So yes, that's something that actually happened. They were the ones who opened the scoring, and yeah, Dybala again scored a great goal, a great equalizer, and someone and Juventus player like Moise Kean, who was in a way totally out of contention. We didn't really see this coming. Someone like him not only score a great goal, but also to score a winner in a game of this magnitude. So yeah, a great performance from Juventus as well. Um, but then yes, there were some decisions that Sassuolo manager felt that went against his side. He kept saying that they were the better side, but still the better side lost. So yes, in a way, uh, a good result, a good performance, from both the teams, and a great spectacle for neutrals alike. But yeah, not really much to say. I mean, there are some things, obviously that we've got to talk about. Uh, Someone like Raspadori, he again keeps scoring. He's what, just 21 years old. He's the first Italian player born since the turn of century to score at least 10 goals in a single Serie A campaign. So we talked earlier about Scamacca. I think another player, another solo Italian player to keep an eye on is obviously Raspadori. But yeah, maybe Dybala has also started playing better because he now knows that he's going to leave Juventus, and maybe he just wants to make sure that whoever he signs up for, these games are the audition for his new club, I guess.
Yeah, quite true. Three important points for Juventus there. Okay. So moving on to Tuesday, I think the match of the week, the semi-finals first leg, Champions League, Manchester City against Real Madrid. So both the teams are not, had their first team available for Madrid. Cancelo and Kyle Walker were not, playing, and for Real Madrid it was Casemiro and Militao who did not appear due to injuries and yellow cards. So yes, it was actually City who started, like a team possessed. De Bruyne scoring in the second minute, and then Gabriel Jesus in the 11th minute. So I think I messaged you at that point of time that the only thing City can do on here is go soft on Madrid, and I think that myth of Madrid that is always in their favor. I won't say City went soft, but yeah, Madrid was so clinical. They not equalized. They responded through Benzema. I think Rodrigo made a run and he crossed the ball to Benzema, and then that is when it has happened so often for City against far. I don't want to disrespect, but far lesser clubs. So I think whenever something against them happens in such a huge match, especially in the Champions League, I think all that demons, they come back. So yeah, so it was 2-1 till the halftime. John Stones actually played right back for City, and he hobbled off in the 48th minute. And again, Guardiola chose Fernandinho to replace him. So Fernandinho was instrumental in the third goal. He crossed the ball from the right to Phil Foden, who headed the ball. That made it 3-1. Um, and just minutes after that, it was Fernandinho who was left high and dry by Vinicius. And again, you can say it was also a defensive error because I think it was Laporte who tried to mark Benzema rather than Vinicius, the man with the ball. So again, a great solo effort. In between of all that, City were creating multiple chances, but again could not, really convert them. Mahrez had a one-on-one chance in the first half, and I think De Bruyne or Foden too had a one-on-one with the goalkeeper. Then Mahrez hit the post, the ricochet came to Foden. He hit it, but I think the defender on the line, he saved the ball. So from there, I mean, for me, the personal favorite was, Bernardo Silva's goal. He actually hit the ball out of nothing. It was so classy and magical. And it seemed like 4-2 is going to be the way. And I think at the end of the day, had it been 4-2, City would have been much happier. But then Real Madrid got a penalty, and this guy Benzema, who missed his previous two penalties against Osasuna. So what does he do? He does a penalty. Oh my God! I mean, at the end of it all, yes, we can criticize the defense was not up to the mark, but see, there was some beautiful attacking, form on display, and it can't always be that when the attackers are playing good, the defense is poor. Sometimes it's just that they are better, right? At the end of the day. Now, next week, both the teams, I think, will be fully fit. Their top 11, I mean, first 11 team members will start. But who would you like to be in whose camp would you like to be? The Bernabeu factor is there, but the fact is, again, if I say that City wiped the floor with Madrid, it won't be a gross, overstatement. City did dominate pretty much, and this could have been anything in their favor. So, but now I think, yeah, with 4-3, the next match at home, I would prefer to be in the Madrid camp. Rahul, your views on the match?
Oh man, seriously, like you said, match of the week, no doubt about it. I think, yeah. I mean, initially the way it started, like 2 goals in quick succession for City, everyone felt like, oh man, this match is as good as done. We can simply stop watching the match, and yeah. But then come at the hour, come at the man, right? Karim Benzema, King Karim, right? I mean, the goal that he scored, he didn't even look, like where he was going to put the ball. But still, it just went in, and as soon as it was 2-1, you knew that there is still a possibility. The fact that then someone like John Stones got injured, maybe that gave Real Madrid even more motivation. And yes, it was actually Militao who actually started the match. It was actually his partner, David Alaba, who was actually not having a great game, and he was actually hooked at halftime by Ancelotti, replaced by Nacho. So yes, I mean, someone like Fernandinho came on, the perfect utility man for Manchester City for Guardiola. His last season at the club, he wants to obviously end the season on a high by winning the Champions League. Um, so yes, 36 years old, came on and played as right back, marauding right back, and yeah, I mean, provided a great cross. But then at the same time, then was it the error? What I mean, I think that was, like, personally, that was my favorite goal. the one that Vinicius scored, because the skill and the precision and everything that was required. There were so many factors that had to go right for that goal to be scored. So yes, because of that reason alone, I think the goal scored by Vinicius was my personal favorite. Other than that, yes, they did look like when it was 4-2 that it's over now. Even at that point in time, it looked like if there's going to be another goal, it's not going to be scored by Real Madrid. It'll be scored by Manchester City. But then again, there was a penalty, there was a foul, and again, Karim Benzema scored a Panenka in a Champions League semi-final against Manchester City. I mean, again, even the way it started, the goal scored by Kevin De Bruyne, that's actually the fastest goal, if I'm not wrong, in a Champions League semi-final. It actually didn't look like we're actually watching a semi-final. It looked like there's one team that is clearly so good and one that is like clearly so inferior. So even after the match, someone like Karim Benzema was like, we're gonna win at the Bernabeu and all that stuff. And to be honest, yes, you can't actually put it past uh, Karim Benzema and Real Madrid. Um, Other than that, yes, even City are capable of doing it because uh, Pep Guardiola has actually got a great record against Real Madrid going back to his Barcelona days, and even 2 seasons ago, he actually beat Real Madrid at the Bernabeu 2-1, I think. Yeah, just before the whole COVID era started. So yes, I mean the first leg had already been played, and then the second leg was played. So there was a gap in those two matches. But even 2 seasons ago, Real Madrid knocked out. Sorry, Manchester City knocked out Real Madrid. So that's again something. It's not like something that they've not done before. They've already done it, and they're perfectly capable of doing it again. Maybe we can talk about a little bit of the frosty relationship between the two Belgian teammates, Thibaut Courtois and Kevin De Bruyne. Maybe that is also something that motivates someone like Kevin De Bruyne. The fact that even 2 seasons ago he scored against Real Madrid, and scored past Courtois, and even now he scored. So let's see if that plays a part. But again, a great game and evenly poised, something that we didn't really think was going to be the case. So yes, it's still 4-3. Anything can happen.
Yeah, I mean, this season teams have not been able to put Madrid down, down for the count. They've always left that space for them to come back, and boy, are they coming back. So yeah, an exciting second leg to look forward to. On Wednesday, we also had some Serie A matches. Oh, sorry, we're talking about Tuesday now. So let's move on to Wednesday. Again, the first leg semi-finals, Liverpool against Villarreal. I mean, the game plan here was pretty evident, and and there was no prizes for guessing that Villarreal would like to, be solid at the back and try and take this tie to their home stadium next week, and then see what they can do. They were successful for 60 odd minutes, sorry, 50 odd minutes. But then a deflected Jordan Henderson strike finally managed to beat their keeper, and just 2 minutes after a beautiful Salah assist, and Sadio Mane scored the goal. So Liverpool win this match 2-0. A lot of people are saying that even this tie is done and dusted because it is difficult to comprehend Liverpool being. I mean, simply put, Villarreal have to score at least 3 goals. Even if they want to take it to extra time, they need to score 2 goals without Liverpool, responding. And the kind of team Liverpool are, see, they created chances. There was a bit of everything. Even they were not clinical enough to finish the chances that they created. And Villarreal were also dogged at the back. Of course, that element of luck always helps. So let's see. But then again, it's 80-20 in favor of Liverpool right now this time. Rahul?
I mean, clearly, like you said, the game plan was pretty clear from Unai Emery's side. They just wanted to, sit back, I guess, not concede, and then take that to El Madrigal and see if they can, then do something against Liverpool. I mean, even Emery said that, Liverpool will suffer in Spain next week. Let's see if they do or if they make you suffer. I mean, if that was not enough for all the Liverpool fans, there is even better news, I guess. Klopp has extended his contract, so the contract that was supposed to end in 2024 is now going to end in 2026, and you clearly wouldn't put it past him, to not extend it anymore if things are going well. So yes, good for Liverpool. Maybe not so good for the other Liverpool, for the other fans who are not fans of Liverpool. I mean, Villarreal attempted just one shot in this match, and even that shot missed the target. That's the joint fewest by any side in a Champions League semi-final since the data is available. I think along with the Inter versus Barcelona in 2019, I think when Mourinho was the manager and won the treble. But yeah, since then, this is the lowest tally of a team. I mean, they clearly had no intention, you know, of getting anything out of this match. And again, when you have someone like Mane, Salah, Firmino, and in the form that they are right now, even I talked about Jordan Henderson and how well Klopp has managed his minutes in particular this season, only playing him in big matches, only using him uh, maybe as a starter in big matches, and other than that, he's coming on as a substitute, but not really starting in all of the matches. Uh, so yes, and the fact that they've got all those things going in their favor right now, injury record, like no one's injured. They're managing to get results in all the competitions. Uh, so yes, not a lot of distractions. Other than that, I think Liverpool have won 9 matches in Champions League this season, the most games they have ever won in a single campaign in European competition. Wow. Even another stat, Liverpool won the first leg of Champions League knockout stage tie for the 15th time. And they have gone on to progress in each of their previous 13 occasions. So, like, uh, bad omens all around for Villarreal. But again, at the same time, maybe yes, even Klopp said that the surprise factor is gone a little bit for Villarreal. The fact that they were able to do something like this against Bayern Munich and Juventus. So yes, now that element is gone. Liverpool had to take these a team like Villarreal seriously, and that's what they did. They played their best side, strongest side, and yes, uh, in a way, even got the job done, in my opinion. So yes, I think they are the favorites, obviously now to progress to the final.
Yeah, but let's also be honest, Liverpool are on a different level compared to Munich and Juventus. Yeah. Okay. The other matches, as I misspoke earlier, there was Italian Serie A matches on Wednesday, not Tuesday. So the first match, an upset sort of a result. Udinese against Fiorentina. Udinese away from home, 4-0 winners. Rahul.
I think yeah, even Udinese realized that they have to do something. They have to win matches, and yeah, I think they know that they don't really want to be dragged into the relegation battle because of the other teams now starting to perform. So yes, a great match, I think, and maybe it just showed that a team that wanted it a little bit more. We're seeing this now for the past couple of occasions, wherein teams or in matches wherein I mean that's what it is, about football, wherein sometimes you just don't expect a team to win or get a draw, but then all of a sudden when you least expect it, something like this happens. So yes, obviously this was totally against what anybody could have predicted or anybody could have thought. So yeah, I think Fiorentina were just not on it on this day, and yeah, once it was once Udinese scored, they just kept on scoring. Fiorentina just had no idea, no way to stop them. Yeah, so great performance from someone like Udinese.
Yeah, again, I think some of these teams have maybe after the semi-final against Juventus, I think that was their main aim. It happens. It happens every season, and it's okay. We do get some freak results at the end of the season. West Brom against Man U, Ferguson's last match 5-5 comes to mind. Okay, talking about freak results, Atlanta Torino 4-4. It was Atlanta who were actually trailing 2-4 with 20 odd minutes to go, and then the Pasalic and Muriel were able to Muriel threw a penalty actually. So they equalized and the match ended 4-4. I think it was a typical Atlanta match. But then it was also a typical Atlanta result because it did not do them any favors so in any sort of way. So yeah, Rahul.
I actually predicted a draw. I mean, the fact that like that's the thing, Atlanta just a season ago used to be one of the most unpredictable teams and the one of the best teams to watch for a neutral. That element is gone now. Like we just knew, oh my god, so they're playing at home. So yeah, they're not gonna win. Like that's how poor their away form is, how predictable their home form is. Sorry. And yes, I predicted a 1-1 draw, yes, but then it ended in a 4-4 draw. So yes, the result is not a surprise. The manner of the result is. Both the teams. I mean, even Ivan Juric, the manager of Torino, one of the pupils of Gian Piero Gasperini, one of his former players. So yes, he actually based, you know, he based. I mean, the style of play of Torino is actually based on Atalanta style of play. You know, the whole pressing style. So yes, uh, I mean, Atlanta can forget about playing in Europe. I guess they're gonna finish eighth. Like Arsenal finished last season, and maybe that way they like Arsenal are doing this season. They're trying to I guess regroup. So maybe that's how Atlanta have to do next season. Wherein they can just play one game a week and then try to see if they can get better and give competition. They really have to get their recruitment right. I think uh, in a way it's not like not everything is their fault. Obviously, some of the players, someone like Ilicic, yes, he hasn't really played, but they couldn't have predicted that someone like him wouldn't really play because of his mental health. So obviously, mental health and all these things are also very important. But again, it's something that they just could not have predicted. But yes, replacing someone like him is up to them. So they should have, in a way, at least planned better. But obviously, Atlanta are not a club, like any other club, wherein they can just sign whoever they want. So yes, they have to, be very frugal about it, I guess. So yes.
Yeah, and the third match, you said your prediction came true in the Atlanta match. I think my prediction came true. Yeah, uh, Bologna came out 2-1 winners against Inter Milan. It was Ivan Perisic who actually started the scoring for Inter Milan. Arnautovic who scored in one of the previous games, recent games as well. So he equalized, he responded for Bologna, and finally, it was a mind-boggling error by the standing keeper of Inter Milan and Sansoni. You know, like scored the winner for Bologna, and I think this victory for Bologna and this defeat for Inter Milan will have a crippling effect now. Inter Milan 4 games to go, 2 points behind AC Milan. I was actually going through the fixtures. AC Milan have to play Fiorentina, Hellas Verona, Atalanta, and Sassuolo. So there are no easy games here for sure. And Inter have to play Udinese, Empoli, Cagliari, and Sampdoria. Yeah, so on paper, AC Milan's fixtures are far tougher, but again, I think end of the season and what the teams are actually playing for, even that factor will take in. But yeah, with 4 games to go, you would rather be 2 points ahead than 2 points behind, as simple as that. So again, the biggest winners of Wednesday night are AC Milan. Rahul?
I mean, yeah, honestly, like if AC Milan somehow still manage to, keep this lead and they somehow manage to win the league, then obviously they will actually deserve to win it because of uh, the run of fixtures that they have as compared to the run of fixtures that Inter Milan have. I mean, nobody really thought that Inter Milan would lose this match, right? But still they did. So that means that there's still, there's still life left, in someone like AC Milan. And again, like maybe it's a point that is in a way valid. We keep going back to this, the fact that both of these managers they actually don't really have a lot of experience of winning trophies, of winning league titles. So that is showing. Maybe it will happen that wherein we don't expect Inter Milan to drop points, but they will expect AC Milan to drop points. We don't expect, but they will having. So that's something that will happen. I don't really think it's going to be as straightforward as we think it's going to be. Um, but at the same time, I'm like it was actually heading towards a draw, to be honest. If it was not for someone like Stephen Radu, the goalkeeper from Inter Milan, the second choice goalkeeper who started his first league match of the season. And oh my God, like obviously it's a bad game yet. And I mean, obviously he's going to be, this will be on his mind. And obviously, so yes, all the players will be consoling him. And yes, it's never a great sight, to come into a big game like this and then to make a howler or a blunder, and because you just know that how many eyes are on you. And obviously, if something like this happens, something like, let's say, if Inter Milan now do not end up winning the title, a lot of people will think of blaming him, because we just know how people sometimes just need a reason, uh, and we know how these things actually affect the mental health of a human being. We see that all of a sudden someone misses a penalty or someone scores an own goal or something like this, and then people just start, people on social media, they just start posting messages, that you should die or something along those lines, which is never a good thing. At the end of the day, we have to understand it is still a game. So yeah.
Yeah, carriers comes to mind, and more recently, I don't know if it was true or not, but Maguire said there were bomb threats. I mean, come on, get a life, man. This is just football. I mean, things happen. Yeah, we can move on, I guess. All the best to the standing goalkeeper of Inter Milan, who I think played for AC Milan. Okay, on Monday, yeah, that really wipes the smile off my face. On Monday, Manchester United against Chelsea, 1-1. I have absolutely nothing to say about this match. Rahul, please take.
Again, a prediction I got right, unfortunately. Man, it's been the story of our season. We create a lot of chances, I mean, and then we're not able to convert them. I think again, someone like Kai Havertz, who was actually going through a purple vein of form, has all of a sudden dropped. In a way, I just hope that all these players to get back to the basics, and like obviously finishing third is almost a guarantee. But I don't want to jinx it. But at the same time, let's hope that it stays that way. That we at least get enough points that we finish third, because the target for everyone is at the same time the FA Cup final. Like obviously, you would just say that as long as they finish third and then uh, beat Liverpool in the FA Cup final, everything else is forgiven. Because yes, next season we've got to look towards the next season now, I guess. Rudiger started his first game since it was announced that he's going to leave Chelsea. I mean, that's the thing. You have someone like Ronaldo. All he needed was one chance, and then yeah, he scored in that one chance. Someone like Nemanja Matic. Again, I just knew that he was going to have a great game against Chelsea. He always does, well. And what else? Like there's to say, we missed all our chances, and yeah. I mean, that's the thing. No, I don't want to be like City beat them so badly, Liverpool beat them so badly, but we could not, because obviously that's not really gonna help us. So we just gotta, take it into stride and move on. I guess that's what I would say.
Well, this match gives us a perspective. Even Norwich scored a couple of goals against United at Old Trafford. So it really gives us a perspective of how poor our finishing is. And yes, Havertz has been, good for us over the past couple of months, but I think his goal scoring ratio, the number of goals he scores, I mean, the number of chances he has to the number of goals he scores, I think that needs to improve greatly, because this just cannot go on, man. Yeah, so 1-1. I think the commentators were saying we need 73 points to be sure that we are in the Champions League, but that doesn't mean that we'll be in the third position. I really don't understand where the third or fourth makes a difference. Of course, it makes a difference to the kitty, but
Yeah,
yeah, let's see. Let's see.
I think it also makes a difference in terms of our pride. To be honest, like yes, we are better than. So in a way, yes. Otherwise, all the Arsenal fans are going to be like, "We beat you and we finished above you."
Ah,
So
don't
I
care
think
about
maybe just for
Arsenal.
that sake, I guess. Obviously, I don't give a shit about Arsenal either, but yeah. I mean, yeah. But then again, why indulge in that, right? Like that's why. Overall, obviously, like even I want Chelsea to finish as high as possible. But yeah, I mean, maybe just because of the petty rivalry, I want. But other than that, yes, it doesn't really make much of a difference whether we finish third or fourth, as long as we finish in the top four.
Yeah, just one piece of news. It's actually quite recent. Another potential bidder has bid. Sir Radcliffe has bid around 4.25 billion. So I don't know where this comes from, and who is actually supporting this bid. So yeah, this is a news which is in a very nascent stage right now. We'll give you the updates as and when something is clear. Okay, so moving on to the Europa semi-finals, Europa League semi-finals, Leipzig against Rangers. Rangers were without two of their strikers, I guess. Uh, Morales and someone else. I forgot. So yeah, again, both the teams had their chances. Of course, at home, Leipzig created more, but it seemed like the match is going towards a nil-nil finish. And Cuckoo had a lot of chances, and for a change, he did not score. But it was an Angelino's strike in the 85th minute that has given Leipzig a slender lead going into Glasgow next week. So Rangers win 1-0. Rahul?
Oh yeah, what a goal by Angelino, right? I mean, yeah, it looked like the game was heading towards a nil draw, and I think it was a goal that was required for Leipzig, because you would say that, at home playing in Scotland with the atmosphere that the Rangers fans can build, Rangers will be the favorites to win that match. So yes, and the fact that they will also have these players that they're missing right now, most likely back in that match. So yes, Leipzig had to win this match. I mean, the fact that they also lost at the weekend against Union Berlin. So yes, the fact that maybe they rested some of the players. Then, uh, I mean, I think Nkunku, who has been so good, probably the top scorer, one of the highest scorers of the season. But I think he was really wasteful in this match. So let's see if he can, improve on that. Um, and yes, I do kind of feel that I still expect, for some reason, uh, Leipzig to go through. I wasn't really sure of them against Atalanta, but I don't know why. I've got a feeling that against Rangers they're gonna go through. So let's see.
Okay, talking about the other semi-final, West Ham at home against Frankfurt. Again, the Frankfurt supporters came in numbers to, add on the team. Sorry, the team responded by scoring the goal in the first minute to now scoring for Frankfurt. Antonio responded in the 21st minute. So again, this was a match, played with, end-to-end stuff sort of a thing. Both the teams were on full attack mode, and Gerard Bowen actually had a couple of great chances. And the more I look at that player, the more I think he'll, um, suit the Liverpool style of play, and he's someone who's linked to Liverpool. So yeah, again, a great eye for players by that club. But unfortunately, West Ham could not to score another goal, and it was actually Frankfurt through Kamada in the 54th minute. So Frankfurt won this match 2-1, and more of the same, please. I don't think the home or away thing will matter here because both the teams will go for it. But then again, you would rather be 2-1 up playing the next leg at home than chasing it away from home. So Frankfurt's slight favorites right now.
So yeah, actually Frankfurt are unbeaten in Europa League this season, and they've already played someone like Barcelona. So yes, I think about Jared Bowen. Maybe I'll go back to my point of England. The fact that they're managed by someone who's not worthy of being a good man, not worthy of being the manager, being someone like Gareth Southgate, someone who got his team delegated, but is still managing the best England team ever. I mean, the fact that if Jared Bowen was actually playing for a team like Liverpool, I'm pretty sure he would be selected. But then I mean, maybe that's his criteria, right? He's still selecting someone like Harry Maguire, still selecting someone like Pickford over Aaron Ramsey. Like, I mean, yeah, man, I cannot wrap my head around this. I'm just, it only bothers me so much because there are so many Chelsea players who play for England, and I feel like not only these players can win something for Chelsea, but they can actually win something for England as well. That's the only reason why I feel like it's such an injustice, to have someone like Southgate as the manager of Chelsea of England right now. Talking about the match, I actually feel like it's the opposite. It's the away teams who are doing much better. Maybe when you're playing at home, you have so much pressure. Maybe that's getting to you. So yes, that's the reason why even in the previous round against Lyon, no one expected West Ham to go to Lyon, go to France, and get the victory, and not only get a victory, but the manner of the victory. So yes, in this match as well, I think, I don't know why, but I've got a feeling that they're going to play better in the second leg than they did in the first leg. It was again Rice, man, Declan fucking Rice. Wow, so good, man. I think I mean, seriously, man, he's gonna be feeling like he's a hostage at West Ham. That man deserves to play for a bigger club. Let's hope that bigger club is Chelsea. But yes, either way, he deserves to play at the premium, like elite level. Seriously, that's how good that man is. Again, a great competition. Both the teams went for it. Kamada could have actually scored more. The same goes for West Ham. West Ham could have scored more. Another point to note is the player who actually opened the scoring for Frankfurt, Ansgar Knopf. He's actually a player on loan from Dortmund. So yes, maybe he's going to go back to Dortmund and he's going to play like this or even get better for Dortmund. So let's see if that happens. So yeah, a great match for neutrals, and like you talked about, the Frankfurt fans. So let's see how many of West Ham fans now travel to Germany next week.
Yeah, really looking forward to the Saturday night semi-finals of all these four matches. Yeah, so we had a couple of more semi-finals yesterday. Europa League, Europa Conference League. In the first match, Feyenoord defeated Marseille 3-2 at home. So again, they'll go off to the next leg in Marseille with a slender advantage. And Leicester at home against Roma, Brendan Rodgers against our boy, Jose Mourinho. And yeah, it was actually Roma who scored two goals, but one of them was an own goal. So the match stands at 1-1. I think in the press conference after the match, Mourinho cheekily said that Rodgers gifted him the best wine that is available in the market. And Rodgers said, yeah, it cost me a lot of money. So yeah, good to see some camaraderie there. And yeah, I think both these ties also hand in the balance. But yeah, I think both the home teams in the next leg, Marseille and Roma, I think they start as favorites. But then yeah, let's see. Rahul?
I mean, I just want, I'll just make it so visible right now. I want Roma to win, and I want Jose Mourinho to win the Conference League for the simple reason I read a stat that if he wins the Conference League, he's the only manager in history to have won the Champions League, UEFA Cup, Europa League, and the Conference League. There's nobody else, not Ferguson, not Klopp, not Guardiola, who have won all four. So for that reason alone,
You have to realize that Conference League started this year.
Still, I want, but then you just don't expect someone like, Guardiola or Klopp to be in the Conference League. So for that reason alone, I want Jose Mourinho Roma to win. And again, I think Roma, I mean, Jose Mourinho back in England, even his press conference was so good. He was asked about Ten Hag, and wow, like Jose Mourinho never changed. Like seriously, I mean, a great match. But again, even Leicester City, we talked about the defense. They just look so different with someone like Wesley Fofana in their side. I mean, even in this match, someone like Castagne, the left back, got injured, had to be hobbled off, had to be substituted very early in the match. But again, the fact that I feel like they had someone like Wesley Fofana on the pitch, that made all the difference. I mean, even in the last match, even in last season in the FA Cup final against Chelsea, Wesley Fofana, I remember, was playing on the right, but I think Johnny Evans got injured in that match, and Wesley Fofana moved to the center of a back three. But again, he was so good in that match. So he is again. It clearly shows how much they have missed him this season. With him and without him, it's like two different Leicester City teams. So yeah, we talked about the master versus apprentice thing, Rodgers versus Mourinho. You would still expect Roma and Mourinho to be favored, in this match, especially the fact that they're playing at home, and we all know what the Roma fans, that master they can create at the Olympico. But I wouldn't really put it past, Leicester to maybe take it to extra time or something like that. A great competition, and maybe again the question of the intensity of the teams that play in the Premier League and the intensity of the teams that play in Serie A. I mean, you could see that Leicester are riding like so down the bottom in the Premier League, whereas Roma are trying to finish in the top four. But still, in terms of intensity, you could see that it was in a way all Leicester, I guess, at least since the goal was scored by Roma. And in a way, you wouldn't really say that the goal wasn't really coming. The equalizer was coming from Leicester. So yes, I think even Harvey Barnes, who came on a second half substitute, made all the difference. So yes, a tie that is still evenly poised, I think, but slight advantage to Roma.
Yeah, really looking forward to all these matches next week. Okay, so with that, we come to the end of our midweek matches review. We'll be back with our weekend preview pretty soon. So till then, thank you so much, guys, for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.
All right, guys.